Hi everyone, I'm Roberto Morreale, and I can start to see some of the cogs turning your head being like, wait a minute, I recognise him. I've seen him in the Dominion Theatre, I've seen him in the Savoy, I've seen him in the Barbican, serving my ice creams. No, the stage is where I want to be, like that's my big dream. And things were going very, very well until I got fired for taking too many lines backstage. Yeah, I know, it was wrong of me. I shouldn't have been editing my castmates out the script. Oh, I had a problem. But now, I've got work in a crematorium, and I know... yeah, I know, I should be grateful. People are dying to be where I am. But no, theatre is still the dream. And I was having a conversation with my flatmate Pearl and her mum. And for reference to get what her mum is like, imagine Meryl Streep, okay, if she'd taken a bit too much trippy cabbage. We all know what trippy cabbage is, right? It's weed. But she goes to me, oh, so Roberto, what are you doing nowadays? And I was like, oh, I'm just working at crematorium trying to find work. And she goes, well, I think you should be a model. Now, coming from an ex-model Chanel and Dior, I was pretty chuffed. I was like, all right, go on, Susan, tell me more. She goes, yes, this lovely place on a Friday. You go, it's in Kensington Street, you just walk in. It's called Uglies. And my flatmate's like, Mum, you can't say that. And she goes, no, Pearly. I'm not saying Roberto's been beaten by the ugly stick. It's irony. It's an ironic brand name, like Fat Face. That's real, by the way. My manager worked for them. But then it made me think, well, what if I came up with ironic brand names? Like, how about this fitness brand, right? Flabby Abs. Flabs for short. In fact, I think you guys chuck me some products, right, after the count of 3, and I'll come up with some ironic brand names. 1, 2, 3. Trainers. Designed to step in chewing gum. we said tampon, right? Murder scene on a prick. Say it again. Wash your hair, you dandruff-ridden cunt. Anyway, I was trying this out at an open mic, and someone shouted at me, gay biscuit. So I just said, Fanny Dodger. But yeah, so a little bit more about me. Thank you. So a little bit more about me. I'm Italian, I'm a drag queen, I have a crippling fear of boobs. Oh yeah, it's true, my dad thinks I should see a gay conversion therapist. Which, if you think about it, right, they're basically just homophobic exorcists. Like, what do? Like, get a bra and be like, the power of boobs compel you! The power of boobs compel you! And the gay in me is like, no, must suck cock! I want to break free! Sashay away, you filthy butt-munching breeder! Thank you. But I think my complicated relationship with boobs started when I was about 6, when I was snooping around in my nonna's bedroom and I found her chicken fillet. Now, I know what I was thinking, I know what you're probably thinking too. That's a weird choice of midnight snack. But no, it's just the name of what you have for a prosthetic boob. And I think we can all agree that was come up with a gay man, because no straight man is like, oh, let me cop a feel of that raw chicken breast. It doesn't happen. But I remember looking at this, chicken fillet and just being like, oh, they come off. I thought women could take off their boobs. So, to test my theory out, right, I marched downstairs and I looked directly at my nonna's boobs. I mean, boob. Now, I've never intently looked... Well, I've only ever intently looked at one woman's boobs in my life, and that is my grandma. But yeah, but things started making... But things started making sense, like... women were talking about, oh, it's that time once again I'm having cramps. And I'm like, you poor women, your back cramps because your boobs are too heavy. Have to take them off. Anyway, it's been a year since I graduated uni. Guys, calm down, it's only a drama degree. But I saw my flatmate Anna, like a few weeks ago, and she went to me, do you want to say hello to Grandma? So I was like, okay, we're going to give Grandma Janet a bit of a FaceTime, fine. Instead, she shows me a wrist, which has a bracelet that has her dead grandma's ashes in. And I'm like, oh, of course, you silly Billy. You should have recognised Val. You saw her last week at the crematorium. But what do you say to that? Like, oh, she's looking good. Oh, she's looking sexy. Oh, she's looking stoned. But, you know, my friend was like, oh, it's like a really personal gift, you know, like, from the way you customise it. Oh, I didn't actually tell you what I said. I didn't know what to say. So I said, was she free shipping? But yeah, it's a personal gift that you can customise. And it gives some insight into what the person was like before they died. So I was like, okay, looking at that, I can tell they're probably a bit fragile, a bit clingy, and a bit of a risk taker. But I would hate having my grandma on my wrist, because what happens if you have to give someone a hand job? Like, do you awkwardly take it off, or do you now embrace the fact it's a threesome? And if you do, you have to live with the fact that you've just cucked your granddad. But anyway, to end it, as we're talking about family, I just want to say my dad doesn't think I should go to a gay conversion therapist. My mum does.